My neighbor died weeks ago, so why do I still hear her walker at night? I don't know how to start this without sounding insane. Maybe I already am, maybe you'll read this and think I'm just another liar trying to scare strangers online. I get it. I would think that too, but I don't want to scare anyone. I just want it to stop. I want it all to stop. It started 3 weeks ago when my upstairs neighbor died. She wasn't someone I knew well. An old woman, quiet, frail, never left her apartment unless it was Sunday. I only ever heard her when she dragged her metal walker across the floor at night. She always moved at 3:17 a.m. every single night. I remember because I used to check the clock, annoyed every time I heard her. Then she stopped. At first, I didn't think anything of it. Maybe she moved. Maybe her family took her to a care home. It was a peaceful kind of silence. But then I found a note under my door. It was written in shaky cursive. The paper smelled like dried roses and mildew. All it said was, "You hear her now, don't you?" I stared at it for a long time. No name, no explanation, just that question. That night, I woke up at exactly 3:17 a.m. The sound came from upstairs, but it was different now. It wasn't a walker anymore. It was something dragging itself. A scraping sound, wet like something heavy being pulled across the floor. No footsteps, no wheels, just the drag. I didn't sleep after that. I tried to tell the building manager the next day. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "There's no one living upstairs." I told him that wasn't possible, that I had heard her every night for months. He just shook his head. "She passed away 2 weeks before you moved in." No, that wasn't true. I had heard her after I moved in every night. Unless I tried ignoring it. Earplugs, sleeping pills, nothing helped. At 3:17 a.m., I would always wake up and the dragging would begin. Louder now, closer to my ceiling. I swear some nights I could hear breathing, wet rattling just above my bed, and then came the second note. "Why me?" It was written in the same shaky hand, but this time my name was scrawled underneath in ink that looked like it had been smeared by fingers Nora. I didn't tell anyone about the notes. Who would believe me? I started recording at night, trying to catch the sounds. But every time I played it back, it was just silence. Or worse, static, like something was blocking the sound. I knocked on the ceiling one night just to see what would happen. I heard it knock back, 3 slow, heavy knocks, and then something whispered from the vents, "Why me?" It didn't sound angry, it sounded sad, like a cry that had been echoing for years, waiting for anyone to answer. I didn't know what to say, I couldn't speak. I just stood there frozen, waiting for the whisper to come again, but it didn't. Instead, the lights flickered, the walls groaned, and then my phone vibrated. I don't remember putting my number anywhere. I don't remember setting up notifications for whatever app this was. But there it was, a message on a screen I didn't recognize. "You heard her. That means she's yours now." I stopped sleeping after that. I moved my bed into the living room, but it didn't help. The sound followed me. Dragging was closer. Sometimes I'd find wet streaks on the ceiling above me. Sometimes I'd wake up with dirt under my fingernails, my feet muddy like I had been walking outside. But the door was locked, always locked. One morning I woke up and found the mirror in my hallway cracked. In the center of the spiderweb cracks, someone had written in the steam, "Why me?" Only this time the handwriting wasn't shaky. It was mine. I didn't remember writing it. I didn't remember even standing there. But the toothbrush was still wet in my hand and my face looked pale. My eyes, my own eyes, looked like they had aged 10 years overnight. I started to realize something. It wasn't just a ghost. It was something else, something older, sadder, something that needed someone to remember it, and I did every night. At 3:17, I remembered. I finally called a priest. He refused to enter the apartment. He just stood at the doorway and said, "She's not asking you a question. She's giving you an answer." "An answer to what?" I asked. He looked at me, pity in his eyes. "To what they asked her when she died. To what she asked God when no one came to help her. To the silence she heard as she lay on the floor with her walker tipped over." He stepped back. "Now it's your turn." Last night the dragging stopped. I thought maybe it was over. Maybe she moved on. Maybe she found peace. But when I woke up, my hands were wet. My floor was covered in scratches, and my ceiling had new marks. They weren't coming from upstairs anymore. They were coming from below. There was a note waiting for me by the sink this morning. It said, "Why me? Nora," and below that, written in a different hand, one I don't remember ever using because you heard her.